Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals of OlimoLeague week number 229. Welcome back to the return of the infamous OlimoLeague. It has been many years since the previous iteration, and now it is back. It is back here on the Chijik platform, so a big shout out to the main sponsor, of course, to Chijik. It is a platform here in Korea. It is one of the big competitors to Soup, to of course have a home for all the Korean streamers that have since come, especially since Twitch no longer does support Korean streamers. Instead, we have a lovely platform like Chijik here. And here we go. We're also diving into the grand finals and sporting in the bottom left-hand corner of El Dorado. We have the red Zerg player from South Korea representing Gaiman Gladiators. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss representing Weibo Gaming. It is herO. herO, the best Protoss player in all of South Korea. SHIN, he is a top Zerg, and he has proven his worth here to make it through so many top players, to make it through Trap, to make it to the grand finals. It's not been an easy road for either player. herO, he worked his way through players like Rogue, through Zan as well, who was on fire. And now they face off in this best of 5 again. Two old friends. They were ex-CJ boys back in the day, back in the Pro League era, in the Kespa era of StarCraft. They were together on CJ Entis. Now, many years later, they are still competing, still at the top of the scene. And now they have to face off against each other. And there can be only one. As a reminder, it's a best of 5. Game 1 is here on El Dorado, and it is loser's pick. It is a loser's pick format. No vetoes. No vetoes as the Overlord does move out across the map. It is going to be a standard opener here by herO, just going for the get expand into Cybercore. Likewise, Hatch Gas Pool from SHIN. Now, of course, one of the big features is the minerals, the bases, the gold mineral bases here in the center of the map. We have one on each side. We have the center gold base as well. Very similar to Golden Wall, if you do recall, for many years ago, was a very prevalent map in the map pool a long time ago at this point. And this is quite similar here. Similar, but not quite the same. It is a shorter rush distance map. It is shorter. There's less bases here towards the south. But there's also mineral patches that do lead towards that southern portion of the map from the natural, not from the main. Back in the day on Golden Wall, the mineral patch or the mineral wall was actually here in the main base. Now it is over towards the natural instead. As herO, he does end up catching the Overlord early on. This should not have happened, so I think I think herO is teasing SHIN about that. The Overlord does overextend, the Overlord goes down, the Stalker opener does punish, and with that, SHIN gets supply blocked. Ooh, SHIN does get supply blocked, but he does very quickly mine through these southern patches, and he goes for the third. Meanwhile, if you're in the chat, if you understand Korean, if you can read Hangul, I would appreciate some translations. I would appreciate translations. Again, these two players, they were bantering earlier. They are good friends outside of the game, in the game as well. They are practice partners, and yeah, I would appreciate if you'd let us know. Would appreciate it. For now, we are going to be settling in. Do have SHIN throwing down his spore crawlers, droning up his bases, and getting into his 3-base economy. Meanwhile, we do see that herO, who was on patrol, looking for any stray Overlord or any kind of crazy workers mining through these middle patches. Oracle moves out, and herO is setting up for his 3rd base at the vertical location towards the north. Towards the north side. Oracle dives into the mineral line and gets 2 drones. Not bad. Gets 2 workers, but takes a lot of hull damage. Oh my god. Takes a lot of hits by the queens. Does survive though. Does survive, does get out. Meanwhile, 2nd Oracle's on the way. Likewise towards the 3rd. The queens are trying to keep up, but they're having a hard time rotating. They do get in position. The last creep is just now being spread to connect the bases. And Lings, they test the waters here at the 3rd, but herO is keeping up. herO does keep up. Once again, rotating. Oracle's in position. He doesn't move out. He's ready for the Lings. And once again, we see a fast Evo chamber for SHIN. This does scream Ling Hydra. So fast +1 should be leading into initially Lings into Hydras. Meanwhile, Adepts shade in towards the natural, and the Lings are out of position. Lings are not quite here. 3 drones go down. Very nice target firing at a herO. Gets 3 workers, shades towards the mineral line, towards the third. Actually, towards the main. And he does commit. Lings are keeping up. That's going to be 7. That's going to be 9 drone kills. Oh my god, the target firing. 10 drones. 11. 11, 12 workers go down. SHIN gets punished for not pulling away. And he got a little bit too much confidence there when it comes to defense. 12 worker kills. Ay, ay, ay. Likewise, another Oracle does clear up so many tumors towards the center, keeping SHIN at bay, and SHIN, he has to counterattack. He has a massive surge of Lings. He's moving out towards the third base. herO, he is in position. He has SimCity. He has 2 Oracles back at home. He is ready for the Lings, and they should not get anything done. SHIN rotates towards the natural. He gets 1 probe, but just the 1. Oracles will punish. Third Oracle races back home. We can see herO transitioning into +1 and blinks. Standard transition here for herO. And herO does maintain an economic lead. The worker counts are neck and neck, which is always better for the Protoss. Now SHIN does take the center gold. Does take the expansion right next to his third. We've seen this before. We did see this earlier in the PvZ Cup in previous PTR tournaments. It's very common, I would say, for Zerg players to expand in this kind of pattern. To have an easy defense between or here at the third and fourth base. SHIN is trying to keep over the Oracles. Once again, another Ling run by. herO, he has 1 Oracle to defend. As I say that, the army moves out. And as herO moves out, SHIN can move in. He can move in. The cannon and shield battery are looking quite exposed. No shield battery overcharge, as a reminder. But herO does blink over the wall. Prism has arrived. Oh, he is on 7 gates. Lings, they take down the gas guys, but that means Lings, they're not at home. They're not at home to defend. Yeah, SHIN is going to have that much less. He does collapse on the Stalkers. Stasis goes off. Does catch a lot of Lings. And here he can kite back. He has more stasis traps behind this. He still has 1 more here at the Zolnaga. 2nd stasis trap on the way. And herO, he wants the gold. Does want it, making use of his Lings, using them almost like a force field. Lings, they're coming for a surround though. Another stasis. Another stasis goes off, and with the help of the Queens though, the Oracles are going down. But the Stalkers do not. The Stalkers, they hold their own. herO, he's pushing through. He breaks through the Lings, gets on top of the Queens. Queens are falling as well. SHIN forced to make roaches. SHIN is holding. Oh my god. Just barely. Roaches have arrived. But it's still not going to be an easy hold. herO, he maintains that Warp Prism. He can keep warping in. No more stasis traps though. But GG gets called. The trades are too good, and herO, he breaks through his opponent, and he takes game 1. GG. GG, well played. herO does take the first game, does take a lead in the series. Again, a very aggressive build. herO, he had 7 gates behind it. It was basically a 3-base all-in at herO. He had no extra gases, and unfortunately SHIN, he was cutting corners. If you remember, he delayed roach production for a long time. He was also harassing with Lings that were not at home to defend, and alas, SHIN, he was barely overwhelmed. We had some brutal force fields. They were getting so much value, so much damage, and we'll see how SHIN recovers. Game 2 is going to be on Ultra Love, I would assume. Oh. Sorry, my apologies. I realized that we weren't actually casting on Ultra Love, and I just realized as well that, yeah, Ultra Love is not actually in the map pool. Okay. Here we go. We're getting into game number 2. And yeah, it looks like we do have a bit of a slimmer map pool here for OlimoLeague. It is only 5 maps. Only 5 maps. Ultra Love is excluded. Ultra Love has been excluded here from the map pool, as Shin has just found out. Shin did attempt to play on it, but just letting him know, it is not an option. Not an option in OlimoLeague. I mean, historically, that's been the case where OlimoLeague, they usually slim down the maps. Sometimes add their own. But here we go. We are getting into game number 2 and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Amygdala. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Gaiman Gladiators down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is Shin. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming, leading the series 1-0. It is herO. Again, a very aggressive style out of herO in that last game to be able to commit to the all-in and break Shin for being a little bit too greedy for cutting corners. But now we're loading into a very different map, a map known for rocks. as a lot of rocks might be. We have a lot of rocks here towards the center of the map. Likewise, the goal base is also going to be a feature. We'll see if we can embrace it. The goal base is quite exposed, as you could, of course, lay siege upon it through the center as well. We'll see if we can get that far. We shall see. As hero's coming with the probe scouts, Shin going hatch first. It's just going to be a hatch gas full. Everything looking normal from the side of Shin. Everything looking as it should. Probe scout into the main. And herO just going for a standard gate expand into Cybercore. Nothing too crazy for the time being. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild. Oh, I just realized why we had a break at the start. I just realized that, of course, the Korean stream was getting their cameras ready, as I believe player cams are available on the Korean stream. Not here, not this week. We're not really set up for that. Maybe next week. Maybe next week we will have the overlay set up for player cams, so we can see their reactions. But I do apologize to forget. As once again, it is going to be the Stargate opener for herO. Everything looking as it should. Stargate opener into Oracle, into a third base, I would imagine. Now, the third base on this map is a lot more exposed. Very similar to Amygdala, if you recall. Sorry, not Amygdala. Whispers of Gold, that's it. Very similar to Whispers of Gold. The ramp coming into the third base is very wide open, very exposed. Likewise, multiple attack paths as well. And is further away from the natural. So I would imagine that Shin's plan on this map is Roach related. I would imagine. We'll keep an eye on the Roach Warren timing to see if he does embrace Roach aggression and go for an all-in. So my eyes are going to be on Shin. I'm sure he wants to be the aggressor this time, as opposed to last game. I'm sure he does. You see herO dipping into the natural. Oh. Doesn't quite commit. Just poking in. First Oracle's on the way. So far, so good. And we'll see what herO can get done. He didn't really get many worker kills with his Oracle in the previous game. If you remember, it was, what, like 2-3 drone kills. What really popped off for herO was the Adept harass. The Adepts, they popped off. They got into the main. Remember, they got, what, almost 12 drone kills. It was insane how much damage herO racked up early on in Game 1. Can he replicate that success? Again, that was also kind of in the lead up to the eventual all-in from herO. Another reason as to why Shin had that much less to defend and that much left to hold and survive was the successful harass of the Protoss. And herO's playing safe. Despite getting 2 Oracles, he's staying back at home. He's protecting that third. There's the follow-up, Twilight Council and Forge, +1 and Blink, most likely on the horizon. Again, herO just moving out with a singular Oracle, not too concerned with getting damage done. As SHIN gets eyes on the goal base. He wants it. That's one. Oh. Meanwhile, herO does get one drone. Just the one. Bearing in mind that spores now do a little bit more damage than they used to. Against certain units. Against oracles. Meanwhile, SHIN is breaking down those rocks. He wants access to the gold. Behind this, Evo Chamber's on the way. This looks like the same build. It looks like plus one melee. Yep, there it is. Plus one melee is on the way. SHIN, once again, he is cutting corners. He is going to be delaying his Roach Warren. So SHIN is going very Ling heavy. Delayed Roaches. Knocks down the rocks. Once again, Overlord is going to be shut down. And SHIN doesn't get much vision. Doesn't get much scouting. SHIN will take his fourth base towards the north. So far, unscattered. herO, he rotates around. Here's up the creep. He's going to be zoned back. But at least he does keep the oracles alive. Meanwhile, Stasis goes off. Oh my god! Doesn't get the workers. Gets one drone and one queen. That could have been so much worse. SHIN does react in time. Lings, they hit the third base, but the oracles are in position, and herO defends. Oh my god, and this I was not expecting. herO, he's going to +1 and blink. That is true, but he's rushing into a fleet beacon. Very fast. Okay, you have my attention. hero's working towards the fleet beacon. Lings, they do arrive. They go for the surround. Blink is not done, and the stalkers are going down. They're out of range of the shield battery. Well, the shield battery isn't even done. That's going to be 4 stalker kills. Lings are forced back with very efficient trades here by SHIN. Does pull away. And this time he doesn't make any safety roaches. He's not forced into it. He's throwing down the Hydra Den. So it's going to be straight up Ling Hydra from SHIN. With this composition, with this build, SHIN can rush into faster lurkers, Hive Tech, and Hydra Lurker Viper. He can rush into that. Goal base now being taken. Meanwhile, herO with his tech path, he's going to take a little bit longer. He's going into a second Stargate and rushing into a much faster mothership. Again, the mothership has been adjusted in the new patch, in the PTR. It is a little bit more expensive, but also a little bit more valuable as well, as the mothership is now immune to abductions. It is now immune, likewise can dish out more DPS as well. As the oracles, they dip in, they get eyes on the 4th base, they get 1 drone, just the 1. 4 diving back in, and did I say 1? 4 drones go down, not bad. SHIN once again threatening a run by. +1 air attack is on the way. Now, what's interesting here is that herO, he will have a Skytos. He's working towards a Skytos army. That's why he has a second Stargate. But he hasn't actually invested yet into Tempest or carriers. He's still focusing on his ground army. He has the production set up for Skytos, but he's not there yet. He's playing it more safe here by focusing on charge and +1. But this does mean that SHIN has time to tech. It means that SHIN is being left alone. He's being left alone. SHIN, he can drone up to 80. He's getting his goal base. Hive is on the way. We spoke about the lurkers earlier. We spoke about how this build from SHIN is designed to just tech up real quick into Hive Tech, into lurkers, into Vipers. SHIN is getting there. And he'll get away with it. Like, SHIN is under no danger. Like, there's no army threatening SHIN. herO's turtling and being defensive, but in this more turtle style of herO, he still isn't making any Skytos units, which is concerning me. I am concerned, as SHIN will soon have access to lurkers, and hero's going to be stuck with a ground-based army. Now, Groundtos can deal with lurkers, that is true, but as I say that in the PTR, I mean, changes have been made. Immortals aren't as effective as they used to be against lurkers. Here we go. Ling Hydra pushing in. herO, he does commit, but he gets surrounded. herO gets punished. Stalkers do fall. SHIN defends. No lurkers yet, but SHIN is getting ready for it. The Hive does complete, and there it is. There is lurker range. Lurker range is on the way, and the first wave of lurkers have arrived. The lunkers, Poppy, they're here. 7 lurkers morphing in. Meanwhile, herO getting into a bay, working towards still committing to a ground-based army. SHIN is pushing forward. Does take some stasis to the face. Lings get caught out. herO trying to hold on. Once again, though, this 4th base is very wide open, very exposed. And Shin is getting ready for his push. He's almost maxed out. At the same time, Lurkers, they're going for the natural. They're going for the tech. Yeah, the cyber core of the robot. The Bay is exposed. And here he's out of position. He's distracted by the main army. And Shin is going for the robo. Can he bring it down? There we go. Mothership forced to recall on top of the Lurkers. Oh my god! This I'm not so sure about. Yeah, spine shots going off. They take down the Immortal. But the Lurkers are being cleaned up. A bold move here by herO. It pays off. Shuts down the army. He defends. Whew. He does defend his natural, but what about the fourth? Yeah, herO, he's being pulled apart. He defends the natural, but the fourth base does fall. And that's all that Shin was hoping for. Either one. Nova goes off, takes down the Lings. But Shin maintains the position. Storm on the way to reinforce. Shin pushing forward. Just the one disruptor for now. Shin might be overextending, though. We do see a massive dive here from herO. Oh my god, but the spine shots are too good. No detection. That revelation was delayed. The Lurkers, they pop up, they shut down the ground army. And herO, he barely has anything left. That was a crazy blink. Had no observer, had no detection. The revelation was late. And now we get a Nidusworm into the main. Won't get much done though. Only gets 4 Hydras in. Does fall to the cannon. But Shin is maxed. Shin, he has an overwhelming army, and herO just cannot keep up. Again, his tech in towards this kind of game state was an interesting one. He never really made use of the Stargates. He only made the one mothership. He was fixated on a ground-based army instead, which is exactly what Lurkers want. They want a ground army. herO got caught out. And the win condition for Shin, deny the fourth. Just deny the fourth base over and over again. Make sure it never gets up and running. And eventually overwhelm the Protoss. Tempest production finally begins, but it might just be too little too late. Might just be too late. Storm isn't done either. Nova's going up. No major connections. Shin does kite back. Oh, I almost forgot. Fun fact, I haven't actually seen this come into play, but we do have a Frenzy on the way, or Dash, or I don't know if they settled on a name. But the Hydra Sprint is being researched. We've been casting PTR. Oh my god, the High Templar, no! The High Templar, they go down. Not a single storm. Not a single storm goes up. And Shin, he overwhelms. He breaks through the third base. Takes down the Mothership, takes down the High Templar. herO distracted here at the natural by the Nidusworm. GG gets called, and Shin ties up the series 1-1. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. Shin does tie things up. We have a series, we have a back and forth. Again, herO, when it comes to this map, clearly we see why Shin wanted to embrace a map like Amygdala. We saw just how exposed the third base is, the fourth base is. These attacks from Shin did work quite well for himself. herO had a hard time defending, but on top of that, herO also had a very interesting build as well, or an interesting, yeah, just kind of progression into a later game state. Did feel a little bit indecisive just because of his production, just because of his tech and where he was going. It was very tech heavy. Because of that, he was lacking an army, and Shin did take advantage of that. GG, well played. Shin did take advantage. He was able to get away with rushing into Lurker tech, and with that, GG, well played. We have a series. As a reminder, this is a best of 5, so plenty more games ahead of us, plenty more games to come. At least 2 more. At least 2 more games. Here we go. Here we go. As you can hear the beeps, we are loading into game number 3. It's going to be on Whispers of Gold. As a reminder, it is, of course, loser's pick. And herO is opting to embrace Whispers of Gold. Interesting. I would say that Whispers of Gold has some Oceanborn vibes in the sense that because the third base is a little bit more exposed, there's not much high ground to work with. We've seen a lot of 3-base all-ins on this map. Even previously, Shin versus Trap, if you remember, in the semifinals, the Zerg player did embrace an all-in on this map as well. So I'm a little bit concerned for our Protoss player, but we'll see. We'll see what we have in store for us. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Gaiman Gladiators. It is SHIN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Blue Protoss player, representing Weibo Gaming, being forced into a tied-up series. We'll see if he can gain momentum back and take it back. It is herO. We go. But referring to the previous series, referring to the previous semis, SHIN, he did commit to a very intense 3-base all-in against Trap, and Trap did do his best to defend and did survive. He was able to weather the storm here on 3 bases. He was able to defend specifically this location, but as soon as Trap tried to take a 4th base here, I mean, again, similar to the previous map, very exposed. You can attack from multiple angles, a very large ramp on the right-hand side as well, and last Trap could not defend here, could not take a 4th base, and he died trying to expand. SHIN just committed. For those that are curious, it was a 3-base all-in from SHIN in that series. It was a 67 3-base Lingbane Roach Ravager all-in from SHIN, and I'm curious if he will do something similar here. It isn't just SHIN, but of course, during the Pigosur Cup in the morning, we were casting Solar, and Solar was also going for an all-in on this map against Estrella, also in a ZVP. Solar went for I think it was it also a 60 drone all-in? Around 60 drones, Roach Ravager on this map, and did overwhelm Estrella as well. So that does feel like it is the go-to. The reason for this is the rush distance by ground is quite short. It's quite straightforward, especially if you knock down the rocks. If the rocks get knocked down, it does make it that much more, or it does reduce the time quite more here, or quite a bit more for the all-in. And again, the 2 third base options are quite wide open and quite exposed. So it does favor that kind of style. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't want to get ahead of myself. We'll keep an eye on SHIN. So far, SHIN has gone for the same build 2 games in a row. I say the same build. Yeah, I would say the same build. Going into Fast Evo Chamber, into Plus on Melee, into Ling Hydra. In game 1, SHIN was forced to make Roaches because of herO's all-in. So SHIN was kind of forced into it, but he didn't want to initially. So we'll keep an eye on the tech to see if SHIN once again goes for the Evo Chamber or for a faster Roach War. Back at home. Oh, let's go. herO going for an aggressive build himself. Let's go. I was curious. I was wondering, why did herO pick this map? Why did he pick Whispers of Gold? We have an answer. Twilight Council opener. It is going to be a Twilight Council. This can be one of 2 things. Could be Glaive Adepts, or it could be Dark Templar instead. Could be a Dark Shrine. Keep an eye on the gas income here for herO. Meanwhile, SHIN is Ling flooding. SHIN, he is making a surge of Lings. And does he make more? He does not. Okay. So it's going to be 11 Lings for SHIN. He's moving out across the map, but he's droning up behind this. Hallucination will get eyes on the saturation, on the tech. And we have the answer. It is not Glaives, it is DT. So this is not an all-in. This is just an aggressive opener out of herO. It is designed to move out across the map, get some economic damage, followed up with an Archon drop as well to gain map control and to get into a 3rd base location. It's just a much more aggressive way to get into a 3rd, basically. In saying that, there is a lot of pressure on herO's DTs to get value, though. Whether it's Dark Templar or Archons, they do have to get some economic damage, pick off Queens, get Overlords. Already, Force Fields are forced out. Do appreciate the energy overcharge spent there to make sure that herO could defend. Again, the reason why he has so much energy on the Sentry was he did just overcharge the Sentry to maintain his position, and here comes the War Prism. Prism moves out. Spores are about to finish. SHIN's getting ready. Is aware that, of course, it is a Twilight Council opener. And Lings are amassing. Roach Warren is done. So far, a good reaction by SHIN. He has 5 Queens so far, and a massive amount of Lings. And we'll see what herO can get done as he makes his way towards a 3rd. Oh, the Queen's under fire. Oh my god. Queen's taking a lot of hits. Lings are coming in for a surround. And they take down 2 DTs. Oh, that was a big loss for herO. that was not quite worth it. herO, he gets 12 lings, true, but alas, he wanted more for Dark Templar, for gas-based units. First Archon's on the way. Lings are moving out, they get eyes on the third. The third is exposed. SHIN does threaten the the Archon at least, but he gets cleaned up. Does get cleaned up, the power of the Archon. Roaches are amassing, and they get behind the middle line, they're focusing down drones. It's gonna be 3 drones going down, the Queens, they get trapped. And not a bad trade here by herO, but oh, he does want, the Observer does wander in, Observer goes down. It was a brutal loss. And herO, he only gets 3 drones and a Queen. But he does at least keep SHIN busy. What do I mean by that? Even though this space is exposed and there's nothing at home to defend, it gets up. It gets up and running. Is safe and sound, and herO will get into his 3-base economy for the time being. Meanwhile, SHIN, he's droning up, saturating his third, taking his gases, getting a fourth. herO getting ready for just additional aggression. Morphing in additional adepts. And another Archon. Sorry, just 2 more DTs. DTs are being sent towards the fourth. Adepts, they threaten a shade towards the third. SHIN, can he keep up? The Spore is getting in position. Archon towards the third. A tri-pronged attack at a herO. He's going for the Queens. Ooh, really does not get one. The fourth is saved. The Queens survive, but Adepts, they shade into the third, and they do pick off 3 drones so far. 4 drones even. 4 drones to 2 Adepts, not bad. DTs, they hit the fourth once again, going for the Spore. But the Spore is saved. SHIN holds. Wasn't the cleanest defense, but he does hold on. He does preserve his economy. Does deflect the aggression. Again, a lesser player might have just died then and there. Might have just been torn apart and would have lost the fourth. But SHIN keeps up. SHIN, he keeps up. Saves the expansion, builds up more Ling Roach Ravager. Spire is on the way for Muta play. Interesting. That I was not expecting. But SHIN attempting to make use of those mutas. Meanwhile, herO with a massive gateway explosion. Moving out with Archon Immortal. Has a couple of force fields available as well. And SHIN, has he been too greedy? He is taking into mutas, but he is forced to produce Roach Ravager. And he has plenty of it. Lings are moving out for a counterattack. Roach Ravager is building up. herO's been doing a great job of just keeping SHIN at home, but the wall is wide open. What is the Sim City here? But the wall is wide open, and we do force a recall. Lings get us around. Immortal goes down. Massive pickoff. Immortal falls, and Lings, they bust into the mineral lines. You know, it doesn't matter what patch we're on, doesn't matter if we're in the PTR or the live servers, but herO, he will always keep the wall open. Always, man. Let's go. 7 probe kills. We'll clean up the Lings, but SHIN finally forces herO to back off. herO backs off, and now SHIN can embrace his economy, gets up to 80 workers, 4 bases, and gets away with muta production. herO's not out of this yet though. He's moving out through the center. There is a ground army. SHIN trying to hold on, and the mutas, they move out. And I believe they're unscouted. Let me just double check here. They were unscouted. They're making their way across the map. Potentially the mutas themselves are spotted because we have some safety cannons. herO, he is somewhat aware. Mutas, they do get into the mid line. Some probes are going down, but the Archons are keeping up, and herO, he will defend. He will defend. Takes down 3 mutas, losing only 6 probes. Solid defense so far. And SHIN, he only made mutas to harass. Behind this, he's focusing on Lingbane, Roach Ravager. He's maxed. SHIN is maxed out. He's cutting workers here at 4 base saturation, or at 67 workers. 3.5 base. He's now moving out. And we'll see if herO can hold. Again, this space is quite exposed. It's on the low ground. Plenty of angles of attack. SHIN is just going through one though. There's a Colossus. The Force Fields, they slow down the army. Roach Ravager's trying to push in. Bailey's, they crash into the gateway units. They're going for the Colossus. And the Colossus is going to go down. Oh, never mind. The Prism. The juggling. Colossus is saved. Second Colossus has arrived. Reinforcements on the way. And herO, he will hold. Shin runs out of Ling Bane. herO chasing him down. Even targets the Ravager. Nice pickup. Shin did get 9 probes, but again, he was hoping for more. He was hoping for a kill. And the Force Fields, they did so much buying time. And once again, herO being as assertive as possible. At the same time, Mutas, they hit the expansion. herO, he wants the Ravager. Doesn't quite get it. Gets a Queen. Oh, and here comes the surround. And where the Colossus, they get left behind. The Biles, they shut down the Prism. No more juggling. Mutas is still being active. Shin controlling quite well. In the midst of the attack, gets 2 more probes. Forces defensive warp-ins. And the main army backs off. herO does back off. Shin, he's forced to tech up. Hive is on the way. Hive about to finish up. Getting another expansion, getting a 5th base. Somewhat droning. The creep is almost non-existent here for Shin. He's only connecting bases. Again, herO, he was so aggressive this entire game that there is no creep whatsoever. In a way, the best defense is a good offense. And because of herO's aggression, he has been able to get his bases up and running, establish his expansions. This I was not expecting. It's going to be Viper, yes, but we're going into Ultras. Okay. Let's go. I mean, Ultras, they are, I would say, overall better here in the PTR. There have been some changes. Ultras are a little bit slower, true. They are a little bit slower, but they can also push past units. Which overall I would say is a benefit for the Ultra. Meanwhile, Lings, they do not get into natural. This time herO, he's paying attention, does warp in time. Very nice moves. herO, he keeps up. Shuts down the Lings. Taking into his own High Templar, Storm, and I mean, he already has Archons, but even more. Even more Archon production. Kind of splitting on the way. 3-3. Shin is still maxed out, but Shin, he has a subpar army, so has a lot of supply caught up in the Roach Ravager. Very inefficient army supply, and the soup does lie. You can see Shin getting ready for a Ling Bane run by towards the left-hand side. Coming a little bit too soon. There's nothing to distract. herO, he will not pull away in time. Oh my god, 10 probes go down. Nice run by. Shin moving in. Shin also ready for a second Baneling run by towards the 4th. And he's hunting for any key units. The Vipers are ready for those abductions. Colossus gets spotted. He wants them. He gets 1. He gets 1. He gets 2. Colossus get caught out. Banelings, they bust into the mineral line. Probes are going down. But what about the main army? Because Shin is losing a lot of his Roach Ravager. He plummets in supply. And now he has triggered a counterattack. Banelings are going once again. herO, he has lost 24 probes. But the main army is pushing in. herO, he's going for the kill. More probes going down, but it may not matter. As a herO, he smells blood in the water. He's going for the 3rd. And Shin, he cannot fight this army. He knows it. He's got Ultras on the way, but he has just poked the bear. Bases are falling left and right, and yeah, Shin, he just cannot keep up with this army. herO, he's snowballing out of control. Shin getting caught with his pants down. A massive Nova denies the Banelings. Ultras are popping out. But then they have +1 carapace and kindness plating. The upgrades are not ideal. Ravagers, they come back from behind. Viper as well, but GG gets called, and herO takes a lead. Takes game number 3. GG. GG, well played. The short rush distance by ground, the fact that the map is so small does come into play here on Whispers of Gold. You saw how little time Shin had to prepare for the counterattack. Is even though herO, he was losing workers, he was losing probes left and right, he lost almost every single worker at his 4th, at his 3rd. He had no economy. Didn't matter. He had an army. He counterattacked, and Shin needed more time. He needed more time to refine himself. He was stuck on again, a subpar Roach Ravager army. doesn't really scale well into a longer game. He had ultras on the way, but not in time. Not fast enough. Not fast enough. And with that, we are getting into game number 4. We're getting into game 4. It's going to be on ley lines. And I'm hoping for an ace match. I'm hoping we can go the distance. I'm hoping we can go all the way to game 5. The pressure is now on SHIN. Can he bring it back? Can he bring it back again? A very intense game 3 there. Both players have their own moments, definitely. But because of SHIN's overall style, he just kind of stumbled his way into a longer game stage. He never got into any lurkers, any brood lords, any higher kind of army. I mean, was working towards ultras, but again, he didn't quite get there in the end. And here we go. Alright, getting into game 4. And does it all end here and now? Do we get an ace match? I'm hoping for a game 5. But let's go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming. One game away from becoming this week's the first of many, and the first in a long time OlimoLeague champion. Can he do it? It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player representing Gaiming Gladiators. One game away from losing the series. He has to fight back here and now to force that ace match. It is SHIN. Here we go. The pressure is on herO. He gets across the map. He denies the natural expansion. And he will be forcing the unnatural natural out of SHIN. So a bit of a more uncomfortable start from our Zerg player. Of course, this is SHIN's map of choice. I'm sure lamenting about being forced elsewhere. No, I'm not. I like to think that's what he's saying. He's like, "Let me expand, por favor, papi." Again, if anyone can help us translate in the chat, we would appreciate it. Would appreciate it. Otherwise, we are settling in. And when it comes to this map, it's very defendable. Very defendable here on 3 and then 4 bases. We saw the last time SHIN did compete on ley lines, it was against Strap. And how did SHIN make use of this map? He did cut corners. He went Ling into Hydra Lurker. He was able to build up his Lurkers just in time to defend against Trap's aggression. He was able to survive and then overwhelm. We'll see if he does go for something similar this time. We shall see. As I'm not too fond of Roach aggression on this map. If SHIN were to go for something like a 6-6 drone, like Roach Queen all-in or something like that, I would not be too fond of it. I don't think it's... I mean, we've seen it attempted and failed on this map, but we'll see. We'll see what SHIN has in store for us. As for now, he is going to be droning up, saturating his natural, eventually taking his 3rd, and herO back at home going for his Stargate open. Everything looking as it should. I mean, last game, herO did spice it up with a Dark Shrine opener, true. Did go for the Twilight Council into DTs. But this time he's calming things down, going for the Oracle. Meanwhile, across the map, herO, he will delay the 3rd, gets the pylon block, being as annoying as possible. Okay, going for a 2nd pylon. And that means herO, he buys enough time. 3rd pylon gets placed, and here comes the Adept. He wants the drone, he will not get it. Adept gets zoned away, Probe gets shut down, and SHIN can now expand. Like, the purpose of what was happening, if you're curious, it wasn't just to delay the expansion. Ideally, as SHIN does take his natural, but ideally, with all those pylon blocks, if the Adept gets here and the worker isn't, and the hatchery hasn't been thrown down, then herO can focus down the drone. He can focus the drone and delay even further. Meanwhile, 2nd Adept has arrived, we get into the middle line, drones are going down, oh my god! 1 drone so far, doesn't get the 2nd, but a lot of flying time here for SHIN. herO, he's getting work done. So not a bad start for herO. Oracle's moving out, herO setting up for his 3rd expansion. Meanwhile, SHIN going for a counterattack, but he is spotted by the Oracle. Force back. Ooh, no Spore in the mineral line. herO, he gets 2 more drones, gets 3. 3 drones go down. Okay. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. Thank you so much in the chat for the translation. I assume so. I was just using context clues, but we have confirmation. Shin said, "Give me a base." Hero said, "I am poor." Smooch. See, we might be separated by language barriers, but StarCraft connects us. StarCraft, it does keep us together. We know, Papi, we know. As a fellow Zerg player, I understand. I understand the struggle of Shin. As we do get a stasis into the main, getting a worker, nothing too major. Good reaction here out of Shin. Does defend. Meanwhile, double Oracle towards the third. And behind this hero, he is going into a Twilight Council. I do not see a Forge. Uh-oh. I don't see a Forge. Are we going into Glaives or are we going into Fast Blink? Yeah, it's going to be a delayed Forge for hero. I'm leaning towards Blink. Here he's moving out with a massive amount of Adepts. And we'll see if Shin can keep up. Can Shin hold? As 6 Adepts have arrived, they're shading to, sorry, 7 Adepts have arrived. They're shading towards the mineral line. Hero doesn't commit. Not yet. Oracles, they come in to reinforce. Meanwhile, Shin, he wants that fourth. He's hiding the drone. Does get away. Shin does keep the worker alive. Meanwhile, here he commits into the natural. Lings are out of position. Yeah, Lings don't know where they need to be. 4 drones go down. There's the recall. Not a single Adept goes down. Very nice trade here from hero. And the Oracles are still active. They find the 4th and they force a cancel. Oh, that is not a cancel. That's a kill. Ay. Massive pick off. A Shin was distracted. It does slip up. That is, what, 275 minerals down the drain. Shin going for a counterattack, but here he's in position. He did save all the Adepts from earlier. And here he is secure. He is safe. He is secure. And Shin has been struggling. Behind this, I did mention that I expected Shin to be rushing into Hydra Tech. We can see that Shin's playing safer. He goes into a Roach Warren, invests into Roach Speed, and goes for a delayed Hydra Den instead, and delayed upgrades as well, with a much later Evo Chamber. So Shin isn't cutting as many corners, and hero is moving out. He has a Wing Stalkers, he moves out, takes down the Overlord, denies any would-be 5th base. Supply block Shin. Shin making 4 Overlords. Not like this. Not like this, man. As hero rotates around. Gets another tumor. Again, no major commitment here out of hero. He isn't reinforcing. His goal here is to just patrol between the bases, deny creep, deny bases themselves, pick off any stray units like this Overlord, and take up back at home. Hero, he's working towards Storm. Storm is on the way. Upgrades as well. And hero, he's looking in control. Meanwhile, I wasn't expecting... Shit, he's going to Swarm Host. He's crazy. Swarm Host on the way. Interesting. I mean, he had the Hydra Den, but no, never mind. Does ignore Hydra upgrades. Embracing mass Swarm Host instead. Bold move. Bold move out of Shin. I mean, Shin is behind and Swarm Host can be very cost efficient. That's true, but there's a lot of pressure on Shin here to make this worth his while. There we go. Nidus towards the south. Ling Roche towards the north, towards the 4th base. Storm is not yet done. But here he keeps up with the rotation. He's keeping up with the main army. But is he ready for the Swarm Host? That's the question. As he shuts down the Lings, Swarm Host, they pop out, so they head towards the 3rd. And here comes the Locust Wave. Can Shin get the expansion? Can he snipe the base? He's going for the Nexus. Never mind, going for the mineral line. Gets a Stalker, gets some probes, going for the base itself, and it looks like he will not get it. And Storm pops off, the Nexus is saved. Hero's trying to keep up, but he's being torn apart. Shit, he's all over this. Trying to pull apart the attention of the Protoss. So far here, he does protect the 4th. Gets on top of the Roaches. Local save is on the way. And here, he's committed. And the downside of this Locust Wave means that it's not a home to defend. It means that SHIN, he has that much less supply to hold on. And herO, he's pushing in. He's going for the kill. Here come the storms. And massive storms, they connect. They shut down the Roaches. Oh, brutal connections. And there's more storms behind this. And they come in. Yeah, herO, he's going for the kill. He may lose the third base, but that doesn't matter. herO, he intentionally gives up on the third. Breaks through the main army. There's a couple of Roaches left holding on. But the fourth base goes down. And herO, he can keep pushing the final storm. Oh my god, massive connection. Hatchery goes down. There's no more storms left. But now we have Archons. Now Archons are morphing in. herO pushing forward. Both players heavily supply blocked. Pylons on the way for herO. Locust Wave coming in. And herO, he has to just wait it out. Wait out the Locust Wave and then keep going. Stasis goes up. The High Templar! Not bad. High Templar goes down. SHIN is on 3 bases, so is herO. That's better for the Protoss. His third is also fresher. It's a fresh mining base. And now the Locust Wave's on cooldown. herO, he's pushing in. He smells blood in the water. He goes to the blink. Takes down the Queens. 1 Ravager left. The Storm Hosts, they do nothing. They do nothing, Pappy. And herO, he wants it. It just focuses them down one after the other. There is a desperation Locust Wave to barely hold on. But herO, he gets into the mineral line. I was hoping for an ace match, but herO, he's making sure that does not happen. The juggling, the micro. herO does not lose a single Stalker. Oh, Stalkers are saved. The micro is insane, and GG gets called herO. He snowballs out of control. He will take the series 3-1 and be this week's OlimoLeague champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, herO. He will take it. He didn't have the most dominant of runs, though. He had some challenges ahead of him. Rogue took herO to the ace match. Zaun took him to the ace match. And even SHIN took him to game 4 as well. There was some competition. It was not an easy road to travel, but herO, he does make it in the end. He is our champion. Congratulations. Congratulations. herO does take it in the end. Very well done. Very well played. And my condolences to SHIN, he did well making it this far. He even did pose a threat to herO, but only a threat here. He wasn't able to force the ace match like I was hoping for. Did fall in the end, but did make it to top 2, to 2nd place. GG. GG, well played. Shout out to SHIN, congratulations to herO. And with that, let's quickly go over the bracket itself. I did already mention it, but... But here we go from the top. We had herO to make it all the way to the finals. herO, he took down Trigger. Oh, even Trigger went to the ace match. Oh my god. So many good matches. Again, we were focusing on the lower half of the bracket, but I'm a little bit envious. These are some insane results here. herO, he went to the ace match against Trigger. Went all the way to game 3. And again, it shows just how competitive this tournament was. Went all the way to the ace match. herO takes it in the end. Then he went up against Rogue, also to the ace match as well. He had a more dominant showing against Nickrat, took him down 2-0. And then went up against Zaun. Zaun had an insane run himself. I don't want to take away from Zaun. Zaun, he popped off. He took down Honmono 2-1. Took down Björn. Took down Clem. Zaun, he went through the PvT gauntlet, taking down Honmono, Björn, and Clem. All went to the ace match. Very impressive run here out of Zaun. Honestly, I'll be honest, there's a world out there. If Clem made it to the semis, maybe Clem's win it. Maybe he wins it. Maybe he wins the entire tournament. I do favor Clem against herO. I also favored him against Zaun. But Zaun really showed off that he has been working on his PvT matchup, and it's looking good. It's looking strong. Very impressive. So I don't want to gloss over Zaun. I know he only made it to the semifinals, but he had a crazy performance to make it to the semis. He had arguably the best series of the night in his series against Clem. We only casted half of it. The rest of it was covered by Crank over on his channel, so big shout out to Crank. J1 Choi, he had, of course, kind of like the creme de la creme. He had the best picks when it came to those matches, and I'm sure he had a great time. But yeah, congratulations to Zaun to cause that upset, to go down to herO. Scrolling down to the lower half of the bracket, we had SHIN. SHIN took down nothing but Protoss. I just realized. SHIN took down Lunacy, Goblin, Trap, and then went up against herO purely ZVP. Purely Zerg versus Protoss here for SHIN. There was no big Terran representation. I mean, I should remedy that. We started the night off with Oliveira versus Cure. Oliveira versus Kira was a very close back and forth, went all the way to the ace match. I do think that was one of our best series that we did cover here tonight. Oliveira took it in the end, and I want to give some praise to Trap. If you missed it, I do recommend it. Trap, he went up against Oliveira at the start of the night, and Trap looked so good. He actually looked so terrifying against Oliveira. He had a very strong performance, a very strong run, took down Oliveira 2-0, took down Rings, but then met his match at the hands of SHIN. That is, of course, what led into the herO versus SHIN finals. And again, if you missed out on some of those series, I do recommend watching the VODs. They are going to be here on Chijijik. They're also going to be available on YouTube and on Twitch eventually as well. Now again, this event is sponsored by Chijijik. It is sponsored by the Korean streaming platform, but we do have permission to share the VODs on other platforms. So VODs will be eventually available on YouTube, and we will have a rebroadcast on Twitch. It'll be later. It'll be later on in the week, as our week is quite busy. We have a lot going on. we have a lot of content. We have a lot of StarCraft. A lot's going on. So we will most likely have a rebroadcast of OlimoLeague. Looking at our calendar, maybe on Friday. Let me just double check. Maybe on Friday here, as I do double check. Tomorrow we're going to be live with the Tenacious Total Tussle. Sorry, we're going to be live with Code for Giants Cup. Into the Turtle Tussle, into the podcast. We have Infolet on Friday. Where can we slot in a replay cast? Maybe on Saturday? Either Saturday or maybe Friday morning. We'll find a nice place for a replay cast. Oh, sorry, for a rebroadcast of this on Twitch. So don't you worry, we'll have that. Also, if you want to tune into the Korean stream, the Korean channel, check out Crank. Crank, of course, he was casting in Korean. He was featured on the main page as well, so I do love to see that he did get a lot of support over on his channel. And if you guys are interested in more of our content, we only stream here on Chijijik for OlimoLeague. We do typically stream on a daily basis over on Twitch. We stream on Twitch and we stream on YouTube. We stream on both Twitch and YouTube. We're live on a daily basis. I did just mention our next broadcast is going to be in 8 hours. In 8 hours time, we're going to be live once again with Code for Giants Cup. So Code for Giants Cup, if you're curious, what is Code for Giants Cup? That is a bi-weekly Brazilian tournament. So if you want to tune into some Brazilian StarCraft 2 action, we have you covered in 8 hours. So I'm going to go get some sleep. I'm going to go get some sleep, get some rest. I'll be up and running in 8 hours time. The day after that, tomorrow, we're going to be live with the Tenacious Total Tussle. That is also a big online event, open to all regions, open to all players, also on the PTR. And after that, we have the podcast, which is our weekly talk show where we go over the news of the week. And this will be a part of it. OlimoLeague, of course, is going to be something that we talk about. It was a big event and a lot to discuss. Otherwise, thanks so much. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed yourselves. I know that a lot of people tuning in are most likely, native Korean speakers. So I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Hope you were able to enjoy the cast, even if it's not in Korean. So thank you. 감사합니다. 감사합니다. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. And with that, we're going to be wrapping up. With that, we are wrapping up for the evening. And also, I should emphasize as well, if you enjoyed the cast, do consider following us here on all of our platforms as well. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Discord as well. All things Cranky Ducklings. And we're going to be back next week. OlimoLeague is a weekly tournament here, at least confirmed for the next couple of weeks. We'll see if it continues into the new year. I hope so. I'm sure Chijijik are very satisfied with the performance of this tournament and performance of Crank's stream, so do consider checking it out. And again, we'll be back next week with some more OlimoLeague action. Oh boy. As a reminder as well, OlimoLeague next week, I believe, is going to be, also in a week's time, and the week after that as well. We're going to have multiple OlimoLeagues, so plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft. We'll see you guys in 8 hours for Code for Giants Cup. Otherwise, we'll see you next time. We'll see you when we see you. With that, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We'll see you guys next time. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.